Hey there, Carrie Rhoades here. Welcome to my YouTube channel and my craft studio here in Eagle, Idaho. If you are new here, I make crafty videos every week. I like to make things with paper, cards, little gifts, and things like that. In today's video, I am collaborating with my friend Jen Hartsgrove. Make sure you go over and check out her video too. We are challenging each other to make cards for our husbands. So mine is a Valentine's card, and that's why this video is coming out on Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. And in today's video, I am featuring a stamp set from HoneyBee Stamps called Warm Wishes. I love this stamp set. You can do so many different things with this little fox. He has a big sweater on and you can decorate it however you want with the little stamps in the stamp set. It's so much fun. If you've never been to my blog, carriestamps.com, make sure you click over and check that out. There'll be a link for you in the description box below. I will have 4 other cards I have made with this stamp set that were for a class that I did. So they haven't really been featured on my blog. So you'll want to go ahead and check those out because he's a super cute little guy. Okay, so also in today's video, I'm sure this has happened to you if you are any kind of maker. Sometimes you do something and it doesn't quite work out. And so you have to redo it. Well, there's a few of those in today's video. So I'm going to show you how it didn't quite work out and how I redid it to something I liked better. And sometimes those redos give you the good ideas. All right, let's get started. All right, first let's take a look at all the cool things I'm going to be using in today's video. This is the Warm Wishes stamp set. Do you see the cute little fox and all the fun images? There's also a coordinating die set, which I love. Cuts out the words, has a banner for the other small words. It's fabulous. I'll also be using Spun sugar and picked raspberry distress oxide ink. I will be using this Wavy sayings by Fawn and the coordinating die set. These are the red hot embellishments by HoneyBee. Love them. I'll be using those as well. And then this heart stencil from Penguin Palace. So let's start out by creating a background. And this first thing that I'm showing you is actually the first thing that I am going to be redoing. So here I am just rubbing on some of the picked raspberry ink to a piece of whipped cream cardstock, and then I'm going to rotate that and bring in the spun sugar. Now I want this background to go from dark to light, so I'm going to start my pink, my light pink, right over the top of the picked raspberry, blending them together. And this spun sugar goes really well with the picked raspberry. I love this combo. I actually used these 2 colors in the last collaboration video I did with Jen, so yeah, that's weird. But I also used red with it, so red will go really well with this also. All right, so once I do this, you'll see I left some fingerprints. Yeah, so I need to blend those out, and they went away really easily, so I was glad about that. And then I'll bring in that stencil, and I'm going to just tape it in place and do some ink blending right on top of that. Doing the same color of ink over the top of the blended color. So picked raspberry over the top of picked raspberry. And then I'll bring in the spun sugar and do that from the top, blending the 2 together in the center. I love this look. I've done this before on a Penguin Palace card that's on my blog. I did rainbow on that one. So this turned out pretty good. I like it. It's really subtle at the top. And then I'm going to come in and spray that with some water from my distress sprayer. And that gives me those really cool splatters. I like that look. I'm also going to put over the top of that some bubblegum silk. This is colored with shimmer in it. It's fabulous. So this comes out really dark, but not to worry because once it dries back much lighter with that shimmer showing through. All right, so we'll come back to me redoing that background because at the time I thought it was going to be great for my card, but then I changed my mind. So here's the Copic markers I'm going to be using for coloring in my foxes. I have these already stamped with some jet black ink, some Copic friendly ink, and then I'm going to color my foxes so they're white because a redhead doesn't normally wear a red sweater, and my fox was going to have a red sweater. So I decided they would be winter foxes because, you know, it's February, it's still winter, even though it doesn't feel like it here in Idaho. We have had some gorgeous weather. We did have snow a couple weeks ago, and then now it's like the high yesterday was like 50. It's crazy, crazy weather. So I don't mind it. We have a new puppy, and it's so much easier to puppy train when the ground is not covered with snow and snow's falling and rain's falling. So I am really thankful for this winter being a mild one. So I colored both of the foxes exactly the same. One of my fox will have a red sweater, but this one will have a pink one. So I'm going to go ahead and color that in, and then I will kind of do a fun technique over the top of these sweaters to give them a little Valentine feel to them. So you'll see that in just a second, but I'm just doing 2 colors of pink because the third color will be the little technique or detail that I add to it. So I'm doing my lightest color, then the medium shade, and then blending that medium shade out with my lightest color. Then I'll bring in the third or darkest color to do the detail. But I will show you here in the corner the little details that I'm going to do. They're kind of a heart shape, but I made them almost like a V. And I'm just testing out which of the 2 colors I wanted, and definitely it was the darker. So I'm doing these little V's, offsetting them in rows right over the top of the sweater. And this kind of looks like they have hearts in the background for like a fun, quirky Valentine sweater. Then I wanted to write on each of the sweaters, hubby and wifey. And my wifey here went a little bit crooked. I was not happy with that. But I wasn't like quite ready to give up on it. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to keep going and I'll see how I do on the next one. Okay, so now for the next one, I am doing a red sweater. So I'm doing the same exact thing, 3 shades of red, but when I'm coloring, I'm only going to use 2 of them, my lightest and my medium. And I'm reserving the darkest color to add in those little hearts. And I want the center panel of the sweater to be pretty light in the center so that the writing on it will show up. So my husband and I have been married for quite a while. We just recently celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary. And yes, you might think I got married when I was, like a teenager, but no, it's not true. I'm older than I look, than I act even. So I redid the wifey sweater. I just thought like hubby and wifey was like really cute in these corny little sweaters. You know, when people get older, they start dressing alike. I thought it would just be really cute. So, we've been married a long time. Maybe pretty soon we'll start wearing matching sweaters that say hubby and wifey, like newlyweds again. We'll see. We'll see. He would think that was really cornball, so that's why I think this card's kind of funny. So here I am redoing my background. Yeah, I just felt like the other one was too much. Too much. So for this one, I'm doing the same exact ink blending, as you can see here, and it turned out really good. I was really happy with the blend that I got. And then I'm going to bring in the same stencil. It still has ink on it and everything. And I'm going to do a different technique over the top. So I'll glue it, tape it into place. And after doing this, I really decided it is time for me to get some pixie spray. All right, so now I'm spraying that stencil with water. And then I could not find my paper towels. Somebody ran off with them. And so I brought in a baby wipe that was mostly dry and picked up that excess water. So what I'm hoping is that the hearts will oxidize into my background. And a little puddle there I picked up. And I love how this turned out. It's much more subtle. I've taken away a little bit of the color, so toning it down just a little bit. And now I'm just going to heat set that and dry it up. And I really like this one. I'm not going to put any splatter on the back. I just needed it to be a little bit more simple, I felt, for this particular card going to my husband. I mean, it's already pink. And, you know, pink isn't his favorite color, but it's a Valentine color, so it'll be fine. All right, then I'm going to stamp a heart and color that in with the same 3 red markers. And this is going to be a little accent piece for this card. So this heart you could put in the middle of the sweater if you felt a little bit scared to write on it. I was scared to write on it. And I didn't love the first one. I wanted to make the letters like as big as that space from top to bottom so I wouldn't have to worry about my letters being the same size and writing weird, and it didn't work out. So then I just made them a little bit smaller, and that ended up being the perfect thing. So I don't know what I'll do with this fox. I can cut out another sweater or a middle panel and put it over the top and still use it. All right, so now I'm cutting a little hill from some gray cardstock and Lawn Fawn border dies. And that will be the little ground for my foxes. I thought gray would be best for this card because I have a little gray going on with the fox. So I was originally going to do black, but the gray looked so much better, a little less harsh. I'll just trim off those ends so it's flush with the side of my top panel. And then I'm going to stamp my saying. Now here I made a boo-boo. If you can see the die there in the top of the screen, you can see that that die is a solid die. You can't see through it, right? So how am I going to line it up? Boo-boo. You should die cut it first. So I decided I would die cut one. I could always re-stamp it onto that, but I already stamped it and it turned out so good. So I'm going to use the negative piece to line up the die, just nestling into that space, tape it in place, and I'll run it through again. And if it doesn't turn out, I can always stamp it on that other banner, but it did. So I'll save the other one and I'll be fine. All right, so I'm just gonna lay these things out and figure out how all of it's gonna get spaced. And then I'm gonna stick things on with some foam squares. The banner first, right at the top of the card. And then I'll put some foam adhesive also on the back of my two foxes. Now you'll see these rectangle shaped foam squares. They're my secret. They're from the Dollar Tree, and you find them in like the hardware section of the dollar store. Okay? Check them out next time you're at the dollar store. All right, so I'm going to stick those on so they're just like kind of nestled together. They're so cute. I added a little mouth to each of them also. So they each have their own like unique look. All right, then I'm going to stick that heart there. So cute. All right, so let's glue this onto a pink panel. This is just 1/8 of an inch bigger than my card front. So my card front is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And then the panel I just stuck it to is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then that's going onto an A2 size card. So that's 5 1/4 by 8 1/2. And it's scored in half at 4 1/4. All right, so here come the embellishments, the red hots. I stuck these on here and I felt like it's too much. It's not working for me. So I took those off and I stuck them somewhere else on my little card. And you tell me what you think. Should I have left them, or they look good on the sweaters? Then I took some sparkle silk and covered my heart, and then I put some Journey glaze over the top of that to make that heart special. And something happened to this heart, and I'm going to have to redo it. I put way too much sparkle silk on there. I didn't have a lot of control on it. And then when I put the glaze on, it kind of, a lot came out on that too. So it made the Copic marker bleed, which has never happened to me before. So you'll see, I'll show you a close-up of it. But I just used a black gel pen and a white gel pen to add some details to the fox's eyes and cheeks. And then that will finish them off. But I'm going to show you a close-up picture of the heart and how it like bled out. And then when I redid it, I decided to have a little bit more control. I would use my Wink of Stella, and then I'll put try to get a little bit less of the glaze over the top of that. And that ended up being the perfect thing. And that finishes up today's card. You can check it out on my blog along with the other cards I've made with this set. And be sure to check out Jen's video. I'll link her channel for you below. And leave some comments. Let us know what you think of our challenge. We'd love to hear from you and connect with you. Have a happy Valentine's Day and come back real soon for some more videos. Happy stamping. Bye.